This is our first episode for the week. Now, come over here, we'll show you, we're doing some plug welding. We thought we'd show some ins and outs of plug welding on this bonnet on the Charger. So, Pops, what's up?
Hey, I'm fully into it. I'm getting this bloody thing welded up. So what I'm about at the moment is, I'll get the torch here so you can see what I'm doing. Right, so I've got all these plugs to go, okay? So I'm on the front and I've just started to weld this one in here, you can see there. I'll run a little weld around the outside of that. Now I'll fill that right in, but I want to get set up right here. I've done a couple around it already, just to get the welder tuned in correct, because I don't want too much heat in this. And this steel is a little bit soft on this car. So once I get the feel of the welder and I'm just about there, I can then get stuck into it. But at the moment, I'm just going to go slowly, because if I don't go slowly now, I'll end up destroying the whole thing and I'll be going really slow later.
Yeah, they're quite a big plug weld, guys, so
they are.
If you did that all in one hit, the distortion in the frame and the outer skin,
cooked, literally,
that can cause a lot of drama. So, man, it's one of those jobs. Pops is a bit of a time-consuming one on this job.
It's all right, mate. I'll just cruise around. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I can just have a, how would you say, cruise the afternoon.
Well, you sort of got no other option, Pops. You just got to cruise when you're doing these plug welds.
Yeah.
You got a fair few by the looks of it. Hey, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 plug welds on the front. So obviously you're just getting into it and you'll probably, what are you going to do? You're going to move along, do a little bit here, go over there sort of thing?
Yeah, well I've already started on, I've put one that side, one at the back. Just, I haven't gone overboard, like I said, I've just pinned it where I want it to be. Now, once I get the front pinned or tacked where it needs to be, the skin can't pull, it's not going to move on me, and then I can get a bit more fair income and stuck into it. But right at the moment, I've just got to go very slowly. I've got to be careful.
Yep.
If I want a really top-notch job when I'm finished, I just have to take my time. What'd you do with that little G clamp, Mick? Come on, where is it? I got it, it's all good. You can stop looking.
You're all over it today. So we'll come around this side. Let's have a look here. What have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 welds on the side, so they'll all have to be plug welded as well. I can see here where Pops has done that plug weld. But come around the back, so that's, how many is on the back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you got a fair few welds to do, Pops, that's for sure.
I have. I'm going to be here for, it's not going to, put it this way, it's not happening in 5 minutes, this job.
No, probably it'd be, at least a day by the time you clean this up. So it's going to be all worth it though, because man, when it's done, yeah, it's going to look really good. Okay, Pop, so you're making sure that those skins are tapped together nice and tight.
Yeah, I want a nice finish when I'm done with this.
So when you do that, that's what brings it nice and tight. When you weld it, pulls the skin together, it leaves a beautiful finish. The plug weld just melts in. So there's always a little bit of that little bit of tapping here and there creates a way better finish in the end.
Well, to be honest, when you're doing all this sort of work, like it's resto stuff, but despite being resto work, there's no quick and fast way to do it properly. You've got to take your time. That's the way I do it. And if it takes an extra day, I don't care. It's what it takes.
That's it. So, well, it's the only way. Otherwise, if you rush it, then you're going to run into problems, especially welding and stuff like.
And you know what? All this bullshit you hear, oh mate, I did this blah 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 in 5 minutes. No, you didn't. Behind the scenes, when you really know how all this stuff works.
Yeah.
To do this sort of work, it takes time. If you want a quality job, it takes what it takes. There's no magic bullet for any, or silver bullet for any of this work. It is what it is.
Right, so you're going to do a proper plug weld, a full one, or just a little bit?
No, I'm just going to just melt that, just pull it in slowly but surely. Keeping that heat down, take my time. I'd love to just give it a zap, but I do not want to destroy that with overcookedness.
That's already a lot of heat.
It is already, so I'll give it a second. I'm getting a bit excited with that, but it's amazing what these things generate as far as heat goes. And all right, you know, you can use a TIG, but no, in these situations I like to have plenty of filler wire, pool it nice. And as Mick was saying there before, if you get the heat ratio just right, it'll pool it, you'll get that really nice pool. But if you go just a little bit under heat, it's just not running in the way you want it to. And unfortunately, then you try to go again and you go again, and it's just not a good weld. So it's a fine line to make it just where you want it on this thin stuff.
Yeah, just so that you've got that beautiful penetration with the weld. So, you know, the plug weld's got to be fully penetrated. So if it's not, you can run into a bit of trouble later on. If the car's in an accident, they'll just break apart.
And you probably see me here do this, right? So if Mick can show you on the camera, you'll see the little ball molten pool there you get on the end of your wire. I don't like to, when I'm doing fine welding like this, I don't like to have that there. It may, I don't know, maybe it's just a mental thing with me, but I just like to go like snip, gone, and it's a fresh, nice, clean start. So when that wire hits the job, it just melts instantly. There's no issues with it on the end there, because you don't want to start to have problems that you really should not have.
Yeah, especially when you're halfway through a weld, you just want it to be a beautiful weld.
And that's done, and that's as fast as it gets on a job like this, bit by bit by bit. And that's pinned on there, she's on there for forevermore now.
Yeah, that looks good.
Once I clean that up, done.
So what have you got, 4 plug welds done around the bonnet?
Yeah, I've gone sides, back, now one on the front, and I want to go somewhere near that clamp there now, even that up, and then I'll just work my way around side to side and bit by bit by bit. I'm not just going to start here and just go bang, 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 because the whole thing will be pulled out of shape.
Yeah, it could pull it all down one, like pull the skin in the frame down too close here, and then this one might be opened a little bit more. It just depends. It could warp the whole bonnet when it's welded, hey?
Yeah, so no, just take your time. If you guys are out there playing, like, you know, and you're not unsure and you haven't done it before, it's like anything. You slow down, you stop, have a good look. It's common sense.
Yeah, that's it. The best thing about this bonnet is now, guys, the actual frame, the skin, it's fully primed, it's epoxy, like it's all protected. See, back when from factory, there was none of that. So it's much better now. We've got that finish in between. It should never rust, and the glue. So yeah, by the time it's finished with the plug welds and cleaned up, it's got that nice finish around it.
That's hot.
Mate, that was, that's a bit...
That was a rookie mistake.
How did that go? Was that good?
No, it wasn't.
Did you want to go again, did you? What the?
Whatever.
You want to go for a third time, or what's going on?
Oh, no.
So it's still quite warm.
Yeah, a little bit.
You had the copper in there?
Did. That's what I'm trying to get out now, but
yeah.
Wait till that cools down now. I want to have a look, see what I've done in behind there as well.
There's a couple of things doing the plug welds as well, and that's all about the motion in the ocean. You know, when you're pulling it in, sometimes it just depends which way you need to go with the panel, if you need to push it in or actually push it and turn it and curl it around as well. It just depends. Pop's obviously has got it set up so he can just give it a hit. Penetration's all there in the plug weld, if that makes sense. So between it all, it's a pretty good thing, because you've got to, like Pop said, you've got to have a fine line when you're welding these sort of jobs. And if you don't, it can cause a lot of, you can wreck a panel real quick.
And especially, you get panels like this that you just can't go, hello, can I have another one, please? You can't do that.
That's definitely not happening.
It's not happening. So I'd rather take an extra hour or a day or whatever to make sure I've got that job right, and it's all good. But if you get into it and you get impatient, yeah, we all want to get things done, but unfortunately, sometimes you've got to slow down. That's pretty good there. Now see if I can get this bit of copper in behind this one. What have I got going on there? No, that's not going to work, I don't think, or is it? I might be able to. It's got a little bump in behind it. It's a little strengthening plate in behind there, but I want to get the copper nice and flat in behind it. I might have enough room just there. It might work.
It's amazing how much the heat, it's amazing how much heat that takes out of the weld, a piece of copper. It's like, over the years, all the little things like that, you can get a really beautiful job. Without it, it gets quite hot. We've seen other, people, don't know where it's actually come from, don't want to be negative or whatever, but the old air duster actually can cool it, and then what it does is pull all the steel in and shrinks the steel, and that's not what you want. You want to let it naturally cool down, and the copper will do that. It naturally takes the heat out of the weld, and that's the best finish you can get.
Yeah, you don't, because you almost, if you start to cool it too quick, you start to get the shrink effect.
Yeah, so you nearly it's like a heat shrink nearly using air. So
the reason why I've got that clamp there like that, I can't get it any better at the moment because it's got, like I said, it's got a strengthening plate in behind it, and I've had to get the copper off onto an angle and just get that clamp in there. It's a pain in the bum where it is, but it'll do to tack it to start with, and then I can move it around. Just want to get that edge tapped in along that skin there nice and tight. You can sort of see there. See, I've got that nice and flush there. That's what I want. So when it's finished and all painted, you don't want to be able to see where it's been pulled apart. Right, Mick?
yeah, spot on, Pops.
Righto, we'll give this one a tack.
What a nice, clean, beautiful finish, eh? Nice penetrated weld, and then we're all happy.
And the other side of it is too, to do all this work, like it's big effort, and you want to be able to finish it up and go, wow, that come up excellent.
Yeah, you don't want to, this is the crucial part. So you do all that work, sandblasting, priming, rubbing, even blocking inside the skin, then gluing it. Just a canister of glue can be like $100 each. So, when you get to this stage, we've got to make sure that we do the job right and we get these plug welds 100% right.
It's got it tacked, that's all it needs, just for the minute. And I'm not going to go any sillier than that. Like I said, it's slow motion, and that's what it's going to be to do this job. But I'm happy to do that because I know if I take my time when I'm finished, I clean all that up, flip the bonnet over, on the car she goes, and it'll fit on beautiful. Thing is though too, the way this is being treated, or the treatment we've given this to stop the rust, it's like, it's never going to rust for a long time. And all these bits in here, now where I'm welding it all in, we'll treat all that as well once it's finished, and that bonnet will go for a bloody long time, and that's how you want it.
Well, that's the only way, hey? And
Yep.
that's sort of all you can do. There's no real, you keep as much material in between the skin and the frame, and then do your welds and try to keep the heat down so you're not burning all your materials off and stuff like that. But nice, Pops.
Whoa there. Yeah, that's going to work out all right.
So that skin and frame's nice and tight, so once you pull that weld in, it's going to really pull in together nice and tight as well. It's quite important, that little bit of hammer work there where it's just tap, a little bit of a tap, make sure that skin's nice and tight with the frame. All right, well, this is our first episode, our daily one, everyone, and thank you for coming back. And we did see your comments on the last one about the colour. We'll do another video through the week about colours on the Chev and throw that all in. But at the moment, the charge is, we're hooking in now, which is good. So it's all about the welding in this little episode for today. We're just going to show Pops talk a little bit about the welding, and you guys might find it interesting, but this is behind the scenes. We sort of, when you're focusing and you're doing the job right.
So I suppose, we're on about welding and all. We might as well talk about welders. What the hell?
All right, yeah, throw it in, Pops.
Righto. Old girl, really, really old girl. Bulletproof welder. It's welded and welded and welded. I think we put a heat setting switch in it probably 2 years ago. I don't know how old this thing is, but it's ancient. It's 3-phase, believe it or not. And it's just, once you get those settings right, that's what I was saying to you there earlier, it just doesn't deviate. I mean, it's got a massive coil in it, and it's old school. It's built to last. Like, we've had new welders, we've had all sorts over the time, but I don't know, we always seem to gravitate back to the old stuff, and it just works really good.
Yeah, you sort of, man, they're the best, I reckon, hey?
Yeah.
Saying that though, look, that's our opinion.
Yeah, true.
And it is what it is, hey?
I mean, there's some really bloody good gear out there, some real welders, like they almost make coffee for you these days.
Yeah.
But the old girls, I don't know, they're just simple, they work, cost effective, they're just good things.
And that old girl's made in Australia, guys, which is pretty cool. The old Transtig.
Go Aussie.
The old SIG welds. So yeah, that's cool. It's still going, still works, an absolute treat. And 3-phase is actually, when you use a 3-phase welding, especially plug welding and stuff like that, man, you can never go back. The 3-phase is just a whole nother level for welding. There's plenty of juice there to do your job. All right, guys, well, that's a little bit of today, and we'll see you guys in another episode, but thanks for coming back and watching, and we'll continue on welding, Pops.
That's it. I'll carry on, and I guess tomorrow you'll come back. I'll probably still actually be here doing, well, the same thing, unless I've got excited and
hooked in,
cooked everything, but then I don't want to do that.
Nah, all good, mate. You're doing a good job, Pops. Good work, man.
All right, cheers, everybody. Catch you on the next one.
Yep, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you again. And don't forget, if you like what we're doing, give us a like and a subscribe. Tell us what you think. Catch you later.